Guten Tag und willkommen to A Fish on the Dry. I'm Wright Seneres. Heute ist ein großer Tag und Morgen und Übermorgen auch, which means today is a big day, and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow also. And why is that? The answer is on today's show. You're one of the best, you got the best, the fullest and brightest scholar in the world, Alice!
Good morning. Time to catch the bus. It's 7:30, but it's still really dark here, which took some getting used to. But the good news is spring is coming. We live in Lichtenau, which is considered way out in the country to people in Paderborn. But I really like it here. It's quiet and there's a lot of horses. It's about a half-hour walk from here. Actually, I like that because it's good for my hip to walk every day. And this way I actually do. Morgen!
Hi,
Wie geht's?
soweit so gut. Morning. Shall I give greetings to my grandma? Hi, grandma.
So I was really lucky to get a Fulbright. Most people I feel like probably apply right out of undergrad, and I'm a few years past that. But I don't know, I was reading these journal articles on Dr. Bueller's work. He's who I'm working for here, and so I just sent him a cold email, the first paragraph in German, and then I had to switch to English, saying I was interested in what he was doing, and I'm interested in applying for a Fulbright, and if I got it, would he be willing to host me here? Because to get a Fulbright, it's really important to have a letter of affiliation from someone in the country you're trying to go to, basically saying they'd mentor your work and provide guidance. And I didn't hear back from him for a couple weeks. It turns out he was on Urlaub, he was on vacation. Germans take their vacation very seriously. There's no email checking on vacation. So anyway, he wrote back saying he'd be happy to provide one and he'd be happy to host me. So I quickly got my application in, and then we waited, and that was tough. Found out in January we made the short list, and then we found out in March, pins and needles the whole month of March until I found out that I got it. And now here I am, and it's been a blessing. I think it's something a lot of people don't get the chance to do, to go, overseas for so long and to work for someone, that they've only read about. So I'm very fortunate. Every day I'm aware of how lucky I am. And my husband's pretty lucky too. That's perfect. Ich bin kein Weichei. Yo. Hauke's so funny.
He is. Comedic relief.
What I'm interested in here in Germany and at University of Paderborn specifically is they have mathematics bridging courses. So a student can come to college 4 or 5 weeks early and take a bridging course to help them prepare for college level math. It's to ease the transition between high school and college. And it's free, and there's no grades. It's purely optional. And they run them for different majors. So when I first got here in September, I sat in all these different math classes. It was wonderful. And my German got a little bit better. You don't know German until you know how to say reduce the fraction in German. Now what we're doing is working on surveys. So we designed and administered surveys to the students who took these bridging courses as a follow-up. And we gave it to them in December. So now they've taken the bridging course and now they're well into their first semester of math. And so now we want to know, how did the bridging course help? Where did it fall short? What would have been more helpful? What worked great? And so we have over 600 surveys, and I entered all the data into Excel. The most challenging thing for me was we did have a few free response, and so I had to type them into the computer. What was challenging were three things. One, obviously the responses were in German. Two, they were handwritten, so sometimes the handwriting was hard to read. And three, the responses were in German. But they're all done now, and so now we're just starting to see what the data tells us. And so it's really exciting. We just had our first meeting yesterday where we were looking at the spreadsheet and starting to pull out some stories of what the data is going to tell us. So that was a good day. Yo.
Yo!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Essen.
No, the lunch.
Muss ja eh 12 Uhr sein.
I always see what's for dessert first, because sometimes they have leftovers from yesterday. Fortunately, today is not the best dessert day. We usually have really delicious mousse, but today it seems to be more of a fruit-based dessert. But I'm a survivor, so I'll take one. And now, the main meat. Schönes Wochenende.
Ich habe die ganzen dreckigen Witze dann noch kommt schon bei CNN. That's on all the dirty jokes, so keine Ahnung.
Coffee, my lifesaver.
No, say it in German.
Mein Zaubertrank.
Back home in the States, my favorite coffee shop was called Take 5. I spent a lot of time there. And when we moved here, I knew I had to find a coffee shop. And it took us a few months, but we finally found one. And the funny thing is, it's called Markt 5. So it also has 5 in the name. And we've only been here a few times, but they already know our drinks. We don't even order them anymore. We walk in and they know what we want. That's a good feeling. So on the weekends, we like to come into the center of town. We call it the Chewy Nougat Center. And it may seem strange to get ice cream in January, but it is such good ice cream. It kind of reminds me of the gelato we get at home, and it's only €1 for a scoop, and you should see it when it's warm out. People line up to get it. Germans are a hardy bunch, so even in this temperature, there's still quite a few people enjoying their ice cream and sitting outside to do it. Guten Appetit! have a lot of gyms in Germany. People do a lot of walking and a lot of cycling. It's really nice to bike here because the cars are very courteous. It's just assumed that a bicycle has every right to be there, which isn't always the case in America, especially New Jersey. And there's a lot of different infrastructure. So my usual loop that I'm going to take, I'm on the road part of the time, but I'm also on some paths that are specific for people cycling or walking. And so it's nice. Plus, I get to ride by some ponies. Bye. And now for a little mustard. Thanks to technology, it is really easy and inexpensive to stay in touch these days, even when you're out of the country. I text my friends back home every evening using a free app called WhatsApp. And with Facebook, I knew a snowstorm was going to hit the East Coast before the first flake even fell. I was able to see the blizzard photos people posted and Skype with my sister when she was snowed in. Compare that to the year 2003. Wright and I had only been dating for 4 months. I was living in Boise, Idaho, and he flew out to visit me that February. I was so sad the day he was flying back home. I didn't want him to leave. Driving him to the Boise airport, I was hoping there would be some delay that would let us spend even just an extra hour together. Imagine how surprised and happy we were when he went to check into his flight and the ticket agent said, "Sir, Philadelphia is under 3 feet of snow. You aren't getting home for days." She probably had never seen someone so happy about a canceled flight. We had no idea there was a snowstorm back east. In the days before Facebook and Twitter and WhatsApp and Instagram and free long distance calls on your cell phone, sometimes the only way to find out about a bad snowstorm somewhere else in the world was to try to fly there. There's the Fulbright husband! Hello, honey! Is the fire going?
Yes.
Are you cooking dinner?
Yes.
Oh, you're a good husband. Oh, look at that fireplace. Oh, it's so cold today. The fires feel so good. And I still have my Christmas tree up, even though it's the end of January, because this is me we're talking about. And there's my husband hard at work cooking us dinner. Hi, honey. Good appetit, everybody.
Good appetit.